guys, welcome everybody. We are super excited to have you run with Team for Kids for the 2024 RBC Brooklyn Half. We are super excited for race week, and we wanted to share the information that we have with you for all the things that you're going to need to know leading up to, including race week, the start, the course, and the finish. My name is Ashley. I am a manager here with Team for Kids, and I wanted to pass the baton over to my colleagues to introduce themselves, who will be going through this informative deck with you to get you ready for race week. Jeremy?
Hi, my name is Jeremy. I'm the director of the Team for Kids program. I'll be speaking about the start, but I'll let David introduce himself and Ben as well first.
Hi, everyone. I'm David. I've been with Team for Kids for about 3 years. I've interacted with most of you via email or at a recent event. I handle a lot of the customer service. I'm the Team for Kids operations coordinator. So I do a little bit of a lot of things, from registering to fundraising to race day logistics. Looking forward to a great race. And I'll turn it over to Coach Ben.
Thanks, David. Hey, everybody. I'm Coach Ben. Super excited to talk about the RBC Brooklyn Half. I have a love-hate relationship with this race. It's my fastest ever half marathon, but it can be a tough day. But this is what awaits you in a few days' time. So keep that in mind as we go through the race today. Looking forward to talking all things out and give you some tips and tricks to hopefully have a wonderful race day. Back to y'all.
Before we get started, the most important thing you should take away from all of this, if after we go through everything you still have questions, please send us an email at teamforkids@myr.org. David, myself, any of the Team for Kids staff will be able to help you and answer your questions. There's no question too small. We'll be more than happy to help. All right, I'm going to start sharing our deck and we can get started. Welcome. RBC Brooklyn Half Pre-Party. Brooklyn Half Pre-Party is going to be at Brooklyn Bridge Park at Pier 2, which is located at 150 Furman Street in Brooklyn, New York. The hours of operation are Wednesday and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. The last bid pickup is at 9 p.m. And Friday, May 17th, 11 a.m. also to 9:30 p.m. Last bid pickup is open at 9 p.m. It's totally open to the public. Just make sure that when you go to the pre-party, you check on MTA, check on the NYR website for instructions if you're not sure how to get there. What you need to do once you're there is make sure that you go to the TFK bib assign area. All of the TFK runners who are registered with us, they have to pick up their bib, their technical shirt, and their official bag check bag at the pre-party. Race day bib pickup is not available, and bibs will not be mailed to runners. But the most important thing is that you guys pick up your bibs at the TFK booth. The TFK booth will be the first booth when you enter to your left across from the general bib pickup booths. Please make sure that you come there and we will be able to give you your bib that has your special TFK sticker on it. What you need to pick up your bib. You're going to need a valid photo ID, your race confirmation form, or your NYR account QR code. And if you're not able to make it, there is proxy pickup. So a friend or family member can come and pick up your race materials, but they will need a copy of your confirmation form or your QR account code, and they'll need a copy of your ID or a picture of it on their phone. Race day.
Great, so I will take it from here. So after you have picked up your bib, you're ready to go for the race. So Ashley, if you want to advance the slide. So getting to the start, hopefully you know that the race will start on Eastern Parkway, right outside the Brooklyn Museum. That's where you'll be going through security and you'll be queuing in your corral. New this year, and the most important thing for runners to pay attention to, is that your entry point is different based on your corral within your wave. So in the past, wave 1 had a different entrance from wave 2. That's different this year. This year, corrals AA through F and corrals G through L will have different entry points. So if you're wave 1, AA through F, or wave 2, AA from F, you are going to be entering at Franklin Avenue and Eastern Parkway. So your recommended subway is to take the 2, 3, or 4 to the Franklin Avenue exit. you would want a car or a taxi to drop you off at Franklin Avenue and Lincoln Place. And your security screening, where you will enter kind of your corral area and the race, will be at Eastern Parkway and Franklin Avenue. Runners who are in wave 1 or wave 2, corrals G through L, you're going to a different entrance. You do not want to go to the wrong entrance. It's a long walk between them, and it'll be a headache, and it'll increase your stress on race morning. So the most important thing for you to do once you get your bib is to identify the letter of the corral you're in. So it doesn't matter wave 1 or 2, you're looking for the letter of the corral, and then match it up to these instructions. This is on our race website. This is in the Race Week Guide TFK will be sending you, and this is in this this video. So if you're in G and L, you're going to be taking the subway. If that's your mode of transportation, to 2, 3, or 4 to Grand Army Plaza. You're going to ask your car or taxi to drop you off at St. John's Place and Plaza Street East, and you will be entering security at Eastern Parkway in Underhill. If you think, I have a car, I'll just drive over there, please know, I've made this mistake. Street parking is extremely difficult due to how many streets are closed, due to everyone who lives there can't park in their usual spots, so they're taking up all the other spots. So we are encouraging everyone to use public transportation and to follow the specific instructions up top. Like I said, these 2 entry points are a few avenues away. So if you get off at the wrong spot, it's a long walk to go to the correct entry point. So you're really going to want to pay attention to where you need to go based on the letter of the corral. Yeah, Ashley. So this is a general start map, but I'm going to ask Ashley to advance to the zoomed in start map so you can see. So over here, all the way to your right is the orange for waves 1 and 2, AA through F. That's Franklin Avenue, Eastern Parkway. It's further east. That's where you're going to want to go. That's where your security is, and that's where your bag drop should be. And then corrals G through L, waves 1 and 2. You are going to want to enter over here, further west at Underhill in Eastern Parkway. And then once you can see in the row kind of where the corrals are, it's those little blue and orange boxes. And then you can see the actual start line is just around the corner, a little bit south on Washington Avenue. But the best thing you can do to make your morning as stress-free as possible is figure out as soon as you get your bib what your corral letter is, and then identify the appropriate entry point. Like I said, you can see there's Underhill to Washington to Classen to Franklin. That's kind of the walk of shame you may or may not have to take if you get to the wrong entry location on race day. So don't be stressed out. Follow the instructions and have just kind of a stress-free morning. Okay, beyond that, so security, screening, and checkpoints will depend on your corral assignment. We just talked about that a lot. Bag check will open at 5 a.m. Runners may only check in the clear bag that they are given at the pre-party. So you can't just slap a tag on a backpack and drop it. You can only check the bag you are given at the pre-party for baggage. Security screenings will open at 5:30. As always, the MTA is subject to change, so make sure you check MTA info/alerts just to make sure if you are taking public transportation that the train's going to be working as you expect. And then if you are running with a friend, it's the same as NYR's policy for many of the races, and they are in a different wave or corral. You can run together, but you do have to drop back to whoever's starting the latest. So if you're wave 1A, your friend is in wave 1C, you need to move back to C to run with your friend. If you are wave 1F, your friend is in wave 2A, you would move back to wave 2 and run with your friend. And then obviously, if you are running in a different wave or corral, you would want to use the entry points of the corral you were trying to run in. And then here is just an overview of the timeline. So wave 1, overall runners are encouraged to arrive 60 to 90 minutes before you start running. The recommended timeline is to arrive by 6 a.m. for wave 1, drop your bags by 6:20. Corrals close at 6:50. You'll start running at 7. And then for wave 2, you'll want to arrive by 7 a.m., drop bags by 7:20. Your corrals open at 7:30. You'll be running by 8 o'clock. And I'll pass it to David.
Okay, we're going to go over a really high-level course overview. These resources. A little bit later on, Coach Ben will give you a more technical race-based strategy. So just going through the slide, there are 10 water and Gatorade stations scattered throughout the course. They'll be marked well ahead of time with markers noting if they're on the left or the right. There will be science and sport energy gels on the course. These will be a little bit before mile 7. This will be inside the park before you exit onto Ocean Parkway. A few different flavors will be available. Just note the citrus one will be caffeinated. That may or may not help you. If you prefer caffeine or do not prefer caffeine, just pay attention to which one you're grabbing on the course. Also, one of the perks of running with TFK, you'll recognize a lot of TFK coaches along the course. They'll be there cheering you on. For anyone who was in the city who came to practice, you'll see a lot of familiar faces. If you're wearing your Team for Kids singlet or any TFK gear, you'll have extra cheer along the course supporting you along. Right around the 20K mark on Ocean Parkway, there will be a free youth event. So this is the Boardwalk Kids Run. This is youth age 2 to 18. There's 3 different stages. Some are competitive, some are more social. These are still currently open for registration. I believe stage 1 is near capacity. One of the cool things about this race is it is an example of some of the fundraising of some of what you guys are helping support. The funds that you help raise go to support these events that are provided at no cost for these kids to run. And it's not just our premier events. A lot of our races throughout the year also have free events for kids to become healthy and active and run alongside everyone else enjoying the race day atmosphere. And just an important note, a lot of the graphics and slides that we're sharing here might be a little bit hard to see. On the race webpage, there are fully zoomed in detailed maps of the course, the start, the finish, the staging area at the start with the corrals, and there's also an interactive course map, which is really cool. You can highlight different things you're interested in. It'll show you where the water stations are, where the bathrooms are, where the medical station steps are, and it'll even show you where a marathon photo is, so you remember to smile. Big smile. You go to the next slide. This is a zoomed in area of the finish. So what's cool about this race is that you come down Ocean Parkway and the last little bit is actually on the boardwalk. So you get on the boardwalk, you head straight down south, and you'll hit the finish line, you get your water, your recovery bags. If you did check in a bag prior to the race, baggage pickup will be in the parking lot. It's kind of hard to miss. Once you come to the finish line, the Atlantic Ocean is on your left. There's a parking lot on your right. It's pretty easy to spot. If you get lost or have any questions, there'll be plenty of volunteers and staff along to help you out. The bag check should be arranged by bib number. And again, those will be stations in the parking lot, just kind of right outside the Maimonides baseball stadium. Also in the stadium will be the family reunion and sort of after party. The stadium is open to the public. It's not just reserved for runners. The official family reunion is in there as well. Kind of plan ahead if you do family there or your family or partner there. Runners can sometimes not remember things after a race, so it's good to plan ahead. Also, cell service is usually okay, but race day, because there's a lot of people in the area, depending on your carrier, you may or may not get really delayed text messages. Okay, again, here's another closer look at the finish area. It makes a little more sense to see it this way. So after you finish the race, you cross the finish line, you go into the parking lot if you need to pick up a checked bag, check in with medical. There are restrooms there. There's a hospital for special surgeries, has a recovery tent as well. And then inside the Maimonides Baseball Park will be a Team for Kids after party tent. We'll have some vouchers available for the team, food and drink, any different types of drinks. I will leave it at that. It's a really cool atmosphere in the stadium. Weather pending, it's really great to hang out. You just ran a really tough race for a lot of people. The boardwalk is really far from home, so it's really great. It's a great way to spend the day and enjoy the afternoon in Brooklyn. And with that, I will toss it over to Coach Ben.
Thank you so much, David. Yeah, one of the most important things is post-race hydration is key. Gluten-free beer, also known as water, will be available to everybody. Sorry about that, David. Time means everything, folks. I hit that one pretty well. But no, seriously, we'll go over awesome strategies before, after the race, but definitely want to hit it hard here. But I will emphasize, Jeremy talked about at the top of the call, one of the things that we stress as coaches is don't race before the race. So know your race morning timeline. It's critical. The MTA is an efficient, running, well-oiled place that will get you on time everywhere. Never. It will never get you there. So make sure you know exactly what you want to do, when you want to do it. And if you're getting a car service, expect to have to jump out a couple blocks earlier than you probably want to, just to get yourself to where you want to go. And because of the new, the way the corral systems are, take a moment and understand which side of the of Eastern Park where you do have to be on, because you don't want to have to be running around and stressing out. And I know the bag check is very strict. I actually missed bag check my second year at this race, and that was no fun. My bag went into a special truck, and it took me 2 hours to get my bag after the race. So make sure you're smart there, folks. Make sure you know what you got to do. Here is a course profile, more of an elevation map. As you see here, there's more undulation in the first part, very flat. The coaches, we like to joke, it's business in the front, party in the back. So yes, thank you, Ashley, for laughing at that horrible joke we say every year. But really, this course will kind of tempt you a little bit with some of the undulation, the ups and downs, to kind of, oh, I feel good, I can go hard, I can go fast. And then you come out of Prospect Park, which you kind of see as that second larger bump from miles 5, 6, and 7. Really 4 through 7, that 5K in the park is really where you got to monitor yourself as you go through, because from 7 to 13, as you see, is mostly downhill as you make your way towards the Atlantic Ocean on Ocean Parkway. But you want to have the energy. Realistically, the way that I look at this race is it's in kind of like 3 or 4 different sections. You really want to, that first 5K through from the start line as you go down Washington and up and around Flatbush and Grand Army, just at the bottom part of the park on the outside. That's the first part. Just kind of get your rhythm, get your flow. It's going to be crowded. We're expecting about 27,000, 28,000 people to be, and there's only 2 waves. Anybody out there who has maybe done some of our other marquee events, maybe the United Airlines NYC half, but we have 5 waves for a similar amount of runners. So expect a little bit more congestion at the start, but it will spread out. So don't rush around trying to get around everybody. David did note before, we'll have hydration out there on the course. You see it here with water and Gatorade. There are 10 total water stations out there. Gatorade will be first, water will be second. Depending on the weather. And I'm sure a lot of you out there are probably checking your weather apps, looking at what may be coming down the road. We are approximately 18 days out with the recording of this call. So it may be showing up, maybe a little bit far out, but take note of that. Understand what you need to do in terms of your own hydration based off the conditions, because a lot of you have been training in cooler conditions. It will begin to warm a little bit. Maybe Mother Nature will smile upon us May 18th and give us a beautiful day. The last 2 years, we've had just about it all, from heat and humidity to a little bit of rain to a lot of bit of rain to some really nice conditions. So expect all the fun stuff in the Northeast. But really on this part of the course here, you're seeing take it easy in the first 5K. You kind of see mile 5 there as you come back into Prospect Park. That's the hill. That's Battle Pass Hill. That is the section of the course that kind of, if you do it well or you do it right by running more by effort than by pace. So what that means is on that hill, as you make your way up Battle Pass Hill, drop the pace a little bit. So if let's say you're trying to go for a 2-hour time to finish the race, that's a 9:09 per mile average pace. Maybe up that hill you're doing 9:20, 9:30. That's okay, because once you make the loop at the top of the park, you have about a half a mile of flat and then about a mile of downhill. So whatever you were to kind of use in reserve going up the hill, you're more than going to make up on the backside as you make your way out onto Ocean Parkway. Not sure what the next slide is, Ashley, but there it is. As you come out of the park, you see where the 5K is. You see as you make your way out onto mile 7. Right there is after, as you make your way out, as David noted, there will be the SIS Energy Gel Zone. So if you've been training with science and sport, please grab a gel, bring a trash bag, grab 40. I don't know how many you want to carry out there. Take as many as you need. If you haven't been training with it, and we're a big proponent of nothing new on race day, this would include clothing that you wear. Hopefully all of you out there have been maybe training your TFK gear so we can spot you on course and give you a high five and a go get it. But more importantly, when you're out there on course, make sure your nutrition is what you've been training with. You don't want to throw caution to the wind, grab a Science and Sport gel. It may upset your stomach a little bit. You don't want to be on Ocean Parkway having to look for a porta potty, or worse, having to drop out of the race. So take it easy as you go through there, because really when you get to mile 7, this is where it's kind of like, okay, let me get back into my rhythm, get back into my flow, start thinking about my finish time and how my day is going to look. I don't know what the next slide is. Oh, there we go. So you kind of see here, as you make your way out, you'll pass up Church Avenue, as you see at the top of the screen there. And then for all of you who are new to the RBC Brooklyn Half, there's a little game that runners like to play. It's called the alphabet game as you make your way down Ocean Park. Actually, yes, we all know it. But I will tell you, Avenue Z is not the end of the race, but you will hit Avenue A, B, C, all the way down to Avenue Z as you make your way through. It just kind of gives you a nice marker, because you'll hit it, and maybe you'll kind of zone out. All of a sudden, you have gone from Avenue E, all of a sudden you're at Avenue M. You're like, whoa, that went really fast. And this kind of get into a metronome kind of sense, because Ocean Parkway is pancake flat. It is a straight shot down to the ocean, folks. You will hit up all the mile markers there. Again, hit those aid stations, hit the water stations. Most of them will be on runner right. So you want to make your way over there, grab the Gatorade, grab the water as you need. See a volunteer, thank a volunteer. Over 300 volunteers are out there supporting you. So please give them a thank you, give them a high five, but you may be going pretty fast. Try to spill your water on them. Even if it's a hot day, they may enjoy that. But grab what you need to get out there as you make your way down Ocean. The way that the coaches kind of like to look at this course is the back half is so fast that if you are having a good day, when you get to mile 9, mile 10, you've got 3 to 4 miles left to go. This is where it's your time. Okay, so if you're running out there on your own, you've been really good with your pacing and everything feels really good, you've all run 3 or 4 miles in training. So you can do this, but can you do this at the end of this race? So around mile 9 or mile 10, if you're feeling good, you're feeling like I can do this, I have some energy left here, you've taken probably your last gel at this point, but you have a couple of water stations ahead of you if you need them. This is kind of where you want to say, okay, I want to push a little bit. I want to guarantee that I get my time. I want to finish my race strong. If you feel it, go for it. If you get down to this part of the race and you're okay, I'm happy where I'm at, cool, stay where you are. It's a flat shot all the way down. Right around mile 12, as you see there on the course map, that is kind of like the marker. That's where the our kids run race will be. It'll be on that side of the street, so maybe you'll see the kids out there. But more important, that's an overpass that you're going through, and that's kind of like the visual marker that you're going to need to take out and say, okay, if I can get to that overpass, I know I've got a mile to go that is beyond Avenue Z as you make your way through. So kind of keep that in the view as you make your way down Ocean, because before you know it, you'll make a sweeping right-hand turn onto Surf Ave and the 20K mark, then a sweeping left-hand turn at the ever-popular Cyclone as you make your way to the boardwalk. There are no more slides there. There's a big old thank you there. So we'll say it there. This is what awaits you. That's the boardwalk that awaits you. That's right there. I will encourage runners. I think David already mentioned it. Marathon photo will be out there. Know where the cameras are. You want your finish line photo to look good. You don't want to see the top of your head. So don't worry about your time. Our scoring team has these wonderful things called timing mats. We're going to get your official time. Come through a couple seconds later, then stop your watch. But we always encourage runners, come to the finish line, get those arms in the air, look good, because that's the photo you want to put out on social. I think I just showed a race I finished rehearsing to the team here. I had a very rough day, but my finish line photo looked fantastic because I knew where the camera was and I put my hands high, because you know what? That's the image you want. And if you show your friends that, they think you had a great day, regardless of what happened the other 13 miles out on course. But please have a fun time out there at the pre-party. After you pick up your bib at the TFK desk, make your way around to the running lab. We will be doing course strategies throughout the day on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll have course maps. A bunch of our coaches will be there. Our pace team will be there. Please utilize our pace team. They are fantastic. But swing on by, say hi. Love to give you any last minute tips that you may need before you head off and get ready for race day. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Ben. Yes, as you can see, Ben was right. This woman is very happy, even though it was very rainy that day. Always make sure you have a great finish line photo. And thank you so much for tuning in to watch our race week preview. As I mentioned before, please feel free to email us at teamforkids@nyrr.org with any questions at all. If there's anything we didn't cover during this recording, we're happy to help you. As Jeremy and David mentioned, we'll be sending a race week guide in a couple days, and we are looking forward to seeing you out on the pier and out on race day. Any other words? All right, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.